Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday and welcome back. We have finished our, going back a slide actually, we have finished our World War I outline with the poetry writing. I appreciated the good use of English words, trying to get feeling, the good use of grammar, trying to note issues of World War I, or using poetry to create situations in your country. And again, moving forward, the reason that we did that was in our Bloom's taxonomy. Taxonomy is not completely shown. We were creating, evaluating, and analyzing. As we move into birdsong, as we move into this lesson, this next 2 weeks, studying birds, learning grammar, understanding things, we're really focusing on remembering, understanding, applying, and somewhat analyzing. So we are flipping this around, not so much with the effective, but more with the issue of understanding grammar, understanding content, reading, comprehension. And so that's what we're going to be focusing on for the next 2 weeks, both in class and at home. Let's move ahead. One more, actually. In the bird song and the issue of birds, students will describe bird songs as they relate to feeding and mating. We'll be learning about that. Students will describe how human actions affect wildlife as it relates to birds. And as I sent to you before, and we'll see this on the next slide, we're getting this from onestopenglish.com. It's birdsong. We're using the advanced article that you'll be using in class and at home, but they also have basic, intermediate as well. So I'm just putting this on here. It was also in the email. It's also on Edmodo. OneStopEnglish.com. The article is birdsong. A final note later on in the semester, as you have to find articles and concepts to turn in and do a report on, One Stop English is actually a very good source. As I've said before, you have to subscribe to it, but parts of it also are free. So that's where we stand. That's where we're heading. Let's begin on this next slide. Grammar. Something I've noticed in class dealing with the poems, dealing with other activities that we've done, is that some of you, as I've been writing and trying to keep track of, and asking you to keep track of, have issues with your grammar, and some of this as a class. This is something I've noticed as a class. Let's leave this and go to the birdsong article if we could. Very good. Let's go to the top. And let me ask you this. In fact, I'm going to do this. Birdsong reading. I can't believe I'm doing this and it's 4:30 in the morning, pitch black, cold and freezing. And he goes on. I find myself getting out of bed and getting dressed. A car horn sounds as I'm putting on things. And we go down here. He doesn't seem to mind. It's cold and dark. In fact, he's smiling. You're going to love this. Now, where is the comma? Is it inside or outside of the quotation mark? It is inside of the quotation mark. Who here knew that? Raise your hand. Well, of course you know it. It's here. But if you had to write your own story, who here would be able to put the comma inside the quotation mark? Some. I was struggling with this even in grad school. I had learned it in high school. Never paid attention to it. Finally, in grad school, a professor of mine wrote on a paper, an educated person really knows these things, Bryon. And I was shamed into learning some more rules. So, we see here that this comma goes inside the quotation mark. It's not a comma with the quotation mark coming first, and the person's not trying to be tricky if it was handwritten, by putting the quotation mark right above the comma, which is what I could do years ago in high school when I was writing. Let's continue and scroll on down on this. Jim is what we call a twitcher. Actually, let's go to the next one. Yeah, very good. Wow! So they do this every morning? Where does the question mark go? Does it go inside or outside of the quotation marks? It goes inside the quotation marks. Again, who knew that? About question marks. Very good. So we see here in American English that we have commas, we have question marks, we have periods, all going in the quotation mark, not over or out. We're going to be working on this, and let's scroll this up, or let's go to the next article rather. This is something I'll be sending to you because I still get confused on some of this all these years later. This is Purdue OWL. This is what? Use a comma to introduce a quotation after standard dialogue tag. The detective said, comma, I am sure who performed the murder, period, quotation mark. As you're learning this, as you're becoming aware of the grammar, because sometimes that's what it is. This is frustrating. Grammar. This stuff can help you absorb this. And I would love to teach more, but my last video was 10 minutes. It took forever to upload. We have now reached 6 minutes. So if you have grammar challenges, let me know. I'll send you this. Thank you.